Hi! Welcome back to Chronicles of a Blank Girl. I'm your host, the Blank Girl. I'm Michelle and I'm glad that we're going on this journey together. Today's topic, we're on a journey of self-love. And what better way to care about yourself than to put healthy boundaries? Boundaries for the win. That should be a hashtag. Okay, so hear me out. I know that it's a complicated subject and people do not like to talk about boundaries in a realistic way. What are you talking about, Michelle? I will explain in the video. Just keep watching and I promise that you will enjoy. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you can get up-to-date notifications about everything that's going on this channel. So today we're talking about boundaries, right? So it's called Chronicles of a Boundaryless Girl because that's what I was, a person with no concept of what boundaries really were. You see, in my mind, boundaries were not a what, but a who. So what does that mean? That means that my boundaries had more to do with specific people than specific situations that I found myself with those people. And what happens is that things keep repeating themselves with other people. Duh, that's how life is. And because my boundaries were with a person, some people would get away with it and some people wouldn't. And then I realized boundaries are, hey, this is not okay no matter who does it. Disrespect is not okay no matter who does it. Feeling unloved for me is not okay no matter who does it. Why is this important? Because way too often we allow people to do things that hurt us to our core. But because of who they are, we excuse it instead of addressing it. And so today I want to remind you just real quick, I want to give you the definition of what a boundary is. And two, I'm going to tell you how to set healthy boundaries. Plain and simple. So here we go. A clinical psychologist from Pasadena, California, whose name is Dr. House, describes boundaries as a line where I end and you begin. So it's kind of like states, for example. In the States, you have the line that separates New York from everywhere else because New York is the greatest state in the world. We all know this. No debate. So what happens is when I am a resident of the state of New York, even if I were to say marry the state of Connecticut, which is right there and is a border state, it does not mean that Connecticut and New York have now become one state. They are still two states. And notice every state in the United States of America is its own state. And then they together make the United States of America. How could that be if they're so different in states? Because they are. And that's the beauty of people. We are all individual states. So whether you are a parent, a sibling, a child, or a partner of someone else, it doesn't matter. You are still your own state within that union. So what I like to call it, and my therapist before me used to call it, a demarcation line. And she called it a poop fence. And what she said is people have a habit of taking their poop and tossing it over your fence and then making it your poop. So now your front lawn stinks.
Your front lawn has little dangers and little pieces of smiling poop emoji everywhere.
Which is horrible because really who wants to live in a state like that? So what you do instead is you take on that smell and you carry it as if it originated in your own yard, but it did not. So your job is to take a pooper scooper, which I like to call a boundary, and you take that pooper scooper and you pick that poop up and you place it back over the fence where it belongs, outside of your state. Even within a marriage, there are two states, two houses together, but still fenced with a boundary, but then even within those, there are still boundaries. Why? Because there are things that your partner may be comfortable with that you're not comfortable with. And a boundary just means where you end and I begin. And what that looks like is respecting each other's differences of opinion. It means that I'm gonna be the best version of myself to you, but I also can hold you to be the best version of yourself to me, especially in relationships with everyone. I'm not just talking about spousal relationships. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about parents and their children. Relationships are important, but boundaries are what keeps those relationships from going to a toxic place. I need you to remember, if nothing else from this video, all healthy relationships start with healthy boundaries. Once you let someone know you can only go but this far, everything after this is yours because this is where I end and you begin, that is owning who you are. That is the biggest version of self-love that there is. It's accepting that this is who I am. And if you're going to be in a relationship with me, whether platonic or romantic, we agree that I am going to be the best version of myself. And because of that, I require certain things. And I won't do certain things. Things I will not compromise on and things I will compromise on. The only way to do that, understand that a boundary is not a to who, but a to what. What boundaries are you struggling with? What are you having a hard time saying no to people? Are you having a hard time saying yes to people? Are you having a hard time letting people in? Are you having a hard time accepting people for who they are? Well, if this is you, I have a book I want to recommend. Boundaries. Now this is the old version, but you can get this on audio at this point, audiobooks. You can get it through Google. You can get it through anywhere where books are sold. And that includes eBay. So this was a book written by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. It's an amazing book. It tells you when to say yes, when to say no, and how to take control of your life. The real journey to self-love is simply that. It's getting to a place where you understand that boundaries are what's going to keep you feeling loved. And when someone does not respect your boundaries, don't take it personal. It's not about you. It's about their limitations and their inability to love themselves. It's not my job to love you for you. It's my job to be the best version of myself. Because the only thing that you can control is you. Don't forget that. And I hope that as we understand that saying yes to everybody doesn't always get us to be the most liked person, or saying no to everybody doesn't always make us everyone's enemy, but knowing that other people's emergencies aren't my emergency, knowing when to say, hey, this is enough. I've had enough of a phone call with you, or you've texted me enough today, or I just need a minute. It's okay to say these things because you're being the best version of you. So this is not a way to tell people that you're going to be disrespectful. This is just a way to tell you that you are being set free to truly love yourself, which means to respect your decisions, to respect who you are, to be an honest introvert or an honest extrovert, or an honest introverted extrovert, or an honest extroverted introvert. Whatever it is, be the best version of you. And that starts not just by loving yourself, but by loving yourself with healthy boundaries. This has been Chronicles of a Blank Girl. Tune in next Monday where I will have more tips and topics to discuss with you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Make sure you share this video. Bye.